It's 10 o'clock. I'm Dan Cummings, and we have breaking news at this hour before the Bridge Street program. Both the Syracuse Police Department and the Onondaga County District Attorney are now confirming that Syracuse men's basketball coach Jim Boeheim struck and killed a pedestrian outside his vehicle on Interstate 690 late last night. The DA and the police department both confirmed the details. Fitzpatrick confirms that the man who was struck and killed was 51-year-old Jorge Jimenez of Syracuse. He was a passenger outside of a vehicle which had been involved in an unrelated single-car crash in the middle of bad weather at about 11:30 last night. There were 3 other passengers in that car. The report says that Coach Boeheim was passing by the crash shortly after it happened, not long after his team had finished its game at the Carrier Dome. Fitzpatrick says Boeheim is cooperating with the investigation and went right to police headquarters following the crash. Both Fitzpatrick and the police department confirmed that there was no alcohol or drug use detected with either driver in this case. Fitzpatrick also tells News Channel 9 that Coach Boeheim was driving at an appropriate speed. No tickets have been issued at this time. Police continue to investigate this fatal pedestrian crash, but again, the details as we know them now. A fatal pedestrian crash late last night on Interstate 690 eastbound near Thompson Road. Upon arrival, the police department found a 51-year-old victim, Jorge Jimenez of Syracuse. He had been struck by a vehicle, was taken to the hospital, and pronounced dead. Jimenez, the man who was killed, had been a passenger in a car that had just crashed along 690 eastbound. That vehicle went out of control on the highway and struck a guardrail. The police department says the occupants exited that vehicle and proceeded to walk on the highway on 690 eastbound within close proximity of their car that had crashed. An oncoming vehicle noticed that the disabled car was there and tried to avoid it, the vehicle. And the driver of that oncoming car was 74-year-old Jim Boeheim. He struck the victim, who was standing on the side of the road. Both drivers remained on the scene and are cooperating with the investigation. Field sobriety and alco sensor tests were negative with both drivers, both Coach Boeheim and the other driver, and there are no tickets that have been issued at this time. News Channel 9 is following this story throughout the day. We will have more on News Channel 9 at noon, and we'll send you over now to the Bridge Street program.